Okay, it says you are live. And welcome to Pinball. And we have an interesting day today, folks. We sure do. So, as I sent out before, apparently, whatever numbers came in this morning, the market decided that they liked them. Goldilocks. And so after kind of struggling, remember, right, we have this call spread. We're going to look at it again over here at 75. And so we struggled near there. These are 15-minute bars. One, two, three, four. For about an hour, five, six, about an hour and a half, seven, almost 2 hours to chew through that. Once we chewed through that, then that general area becomes kind of support, for lack of a better word. Now we have the other side of that trade, and we're going to look at it. It's a 5 wide call spread. So we have 75, 80. I don't know how to make these guys 5 wide, but you get the idea. And now I didn't put the picture on the screen, but I'm going to move this whale up here so I can move the pieces around on the chessboard. We have another big whale right up here at 95. Is this 95 here? Yeah, we have another whale right here. So we're caught between these whale pods. And now this should be mean reverting, grind up, go back down, grind up, go back down. And now at 90, we have a smaller one. We have a fish. Do I have a fish here? I'll make it a porpoise. We have a porpoise right about there. A tiny little porpoise. Not quite a whale, but he is a mammal. Okay, and so that's sort of the landscape. I think that's fun. I had fun doing that. I hope you had fun watching. Okay, now after I'm done amusing myself, and I would expect to have, oh, hey Denver, if you want to go on the stage, let me know. Now let's go in and take a peek. Depth view. Let's update it. And they're updating the back end. And so stuff is happening a little slow. And some of it could be me because I have like 10 million screens open. 6 screens and 10 million instances of Chrome and Edge and Thinkorswim and Tasty Trade and everything else. Okay, private chat. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome. So Denver, who's been kind of with us, me, whatever the world, us, for quite a while, since the beginning, really, has said, and he said to me before, that he's a futures trader. And can I sort of somehow do something for futures traders? And so I did some stuff to accommodate him and updates because he's a premium, whatever. And so he thanked me, and I said, "You're welcome." And somebody else mentioned that when I do my trading view string or my labels. Sometimes I say magnets, sometimes I call it something else. And English is not his native language. And so he'd like me to keep the verbiage uniform, which is actually a good idea. I'm saying all that to say this. Feel free to give me feedback if, I'm really not thin-skinned. Okay, so that said, I appreciate it. I want to make it better for everybody. Okay, so here's at 95. that 95.90 whale credit spread. But notice we have 21,000, 26,000. Last time I went to school, that's a difference of 5,000 contracts, more calls here than bought than sold here. So that kind of messes up the whole gamma vega unbalancing that could have contributed to this move up. The 90s that were here, about 5,000, the 90s that were above here at like 3,000, 5,000, they're gone. Now, again, whether whoever owned it, so you see, take a look. Well, there's 3,000 here that was sold. I don't know if you can see it. That customers sold, but then customers bought 3,400 puts, basically negating the whole effect of this. And so that kind of neutralized 90, took it out of the game as a stopper, but also as a player. And now we're in this 95 with a path to 85, maybe 80 magnetic, I don't know. But it's an interesting pinball. Haven't had one that's interesting in a while. So let's look at charm. And as we would expect, the 95 is the top. And it's the if over 80, then in this zone, if under 75, which seems unlikely now, then this zone with a pin that will be right there near 75. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And we're just skating this edge here. Now, take a look at this here. You see how dark this gets here? Okay, so there's really not a lot they're going to have to do if we get in here. So the peak craziness is at around 5.2. And the big, yeah, so really, this looks like it's basically hedged out other than getting real close to here or there. And well, how am I saying? I'm just looking at the numbers. This is how much market makers have to buy or sell in 2.5 minute time window on a move to that price. And the E-mini contracts, it's 24. Whatever the multiplier is, so it's 50. Whatever it is, it's nothing compared to here, a value of 1,700, and that's a lot of E-minis. So, so if we get up here, there's either going to be a lot of buying or a lot of selling. There could be fireworks. And we had, I think I put it on Twitter, we had a trade at around 3 o'clock. Somebody bought 54.90, 5,500 call debit spread. So there's all kinds of stuff mixed in here that gets depending, do customers open them, close them? They just muddy the waters a little bit. I often say, I've been saying it a lot, what happens locally near the money is going to shape the structure. It's going to shape, is going to influence the shape. Okay, I think the number is 0.8 times the number of contracts, and it's reverse. If it says minus, they're going to buy, and if it says plus, they're going to sell. but it's that number times 0.8. And I'll get confirmation. But the way I look at it, and this is just for me, rather than know if it's 1,300 e-minis or 1,800 or 900, I know it's a lot. But I will get you the exact number, and I knew it more than once, and I just kind of deleted that information from my brain because I'm just kind of more looking at the pattern. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. Whoops, I just closed it. I didn't mean to. Oh well. My dashboard, it's been taking a while populating because they're updating stuff on the back end. Now, I believe that this is gamma I have here. Oh, I have here, not position numbers. But here, take a look at this. See this tail here? This tail here at 90 to the right. So market makers will long their customers short calls at 90, and that got all the way eaten through. Let's look at position number just to get an idea. That's pretty impressive. So again, if we look at position numbers, there was 5,000-ish short calls here, customer short, market maker long calls at 64.90. That's totally gotten eaten through. It's gone. Nothing there to speak of. That's pretty impressive. Whether they closed, and I don't think they did. Why don't I think they did? Because, and again, it doesn't matter who did it and why they did it. What matters is what's there. Again, when we look at 64.90, we see 3,700 customer short, market maker long calls there, but the net delta, the net gamma is offset by long puts. So there's really nothing the market makers have to do much there. Okay, we got somebody rooting for 6,500. All-time high close was 6,501, I think. So let's save the record high for tomorrow, okay? Come on, man. Come on, be nice. Now I want to show you something else. Let's go to the volatility thing for a minute here. And I was saying VVIX was a little too high. And here we are. And this is also your standard volatility crush. We were all up here. People were buying these tails, these overpriced tails. And then that just creates more of a tailwind. Another thing, and I'll get more. So OG McMillan has the McMillan VIX spike peak buy signal, which I've been following for a quarter of a century, which is kind of old school, simple. If VIX from a peak of from a local peak, 19.3, to a close 3 points below it, 16.3, 16.25, let's say 16, that's a buy signal. I'm pretty sure it's intraday peak to a day close, but it might be close to close. I asked him, and I'm waiting for an answer. If anybody could tell me what the VIX close was on Tuesday when the world was falling apart, I'm kind of curious. If it was 18.5, it would still be a McMillan buy. And, you know, you guys know me. If it's off by 3 points one way or another, or 0.3, I'm going to front run it anyway. So that's that. So I didn't put a poll out although I should have. Maybe I still will if there's time. And so, what do I have that's IT? Oh, yeah. In one account, I had this spread and I monetized it. In this account, I didn't, playing for the 50 pin, which looked like a genius idea in the morning, and that didn't happen. This is all garbage. Way out of the money. For tomorrow, I have a fly here. Not sure what I want to do with it. A 65.10 mid fly. Looks like it's a little profitable. It was cheap, so I'm not really worried about it. Then I have this little bullish thing for the end of the month. Oh wait, this isn't supposed. Okay, right, for the end of the month. And then 100 points away, I have this 620. Gives me plenty of time to figure out if I want to do something like 6620. But if 6600 is a thing, $1.80, I don't know. Buy one to play with it, see what happens. Okay, so let's get back to the task at hand. Okay, so we have the the obvious question du jour is 95 over under, and I think right now it still should mean revert, but the fact that we have more calls here than longs and than shorts just kind of makes the whole volatility surface vega nonsense skew distribution a little funky. Technical term. I need Alma to tell me what the numbers turn out to be. But for a simple man like me, at 95 still looks tricky. Still looks like we shouldn't get there. We shouldn't close above it. I'm still thinking 90. I went on record on Twitter saying that we probably don't close at 90. I gave it an ish and I said we certainly don't close above 95. Now let's see if I'm right or wrong. I could be wrong. Just try and pick this by 5 points. That's definitely a technical term. Thank you. You must you must be in the PhD program if you learn that one. That's PhD level shit. Um, okay, so 90 is for you. Okay, so gun to the head, over 90 or under 90? And oh, howdy. You're a little late. Do you have a note from the doctor's office? Over 90. Okay, over a bit. We have two over 90s. Okay, so for the over 90 crowd, let's take a look. Let's get away from this nonsense here. Let's go to the over 90 crowd. Oh, there. Oh, look, everybody's filtering in. Hey, that's great. Okay, so for the over 90 crowd, this would be the trade. If over 90, well, it costs you $2, so you need over 92 for this to work. If we get crazy and say over 95, which I think is unlikely, we got this. And I don't feel like throwing out $200. Could have bought this when we were down here for $1 and change and gotten out here. It's sure looking like we're gonna get stuck to that 95, isn't it? And if we have end of day scalpers, high frequency crooks coming in and buying more, okay, so we see a little tail here. So it might be some people taking profits, the people that bought these for like 20 cents. So let's take a look at something else. Something, okay, so these are still cheap nothings. So they were 10 cents that today. Wow, at some point today at 6:14, somebody bought a bunch of them for a buck 57 or sold them. Maybe somebody was smart and sold them for a buck 57. And so you see, even though we're 75, 30, 60, 70 cents away, they're losing value. It's basically 45 cents in intrinsic extrinsic value here at 95, which also means it's cheap to get into those. So those are the 6500s. Let's take a look at the 95s where the action is. Okay, so you could have bought these today for 48 cents, even when we were running up at 330, they were 90 cents. Now they're 240. Now people are going to be jumping in and out of these. So this was that same spike peak we had. So something happened in there. I saw a trade on usual whales, but I guess kind of still having trouble using it as fluidly as I would like. Oh crap, we're over 95. Do they make it? Does that funky math that my PhD student knows? And remember, this is a few minutes delayed. Now, is the ICL going to be here tomorrow? Technically, we went above the expected move. If he sticks to his knitting, he will be here tomorrow. He may or may not be, and he would be roughly, where would he be? Well, he would probably be over here, 35.40 ish, and something like that, or something like this, or even something like this. Lately, he's been looking for $2. So that's still a 19 delta, but event risk comes out. If we want to play safe-ish, get away from the round numbers. Let's try that. See if that fills. I'll do a similar for 90 cents just because I like to get in the trade. Okay, let's see what happens. That's for tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at a chart, see where we are. Okay, so the minnow is gone. The porpoise got eaten up by, I'm not sure who eats dolphins. Killer whales. Killer whales eat mammals. And look at this. Look at this. 6,500. Come on, 6,500. Come on, Boomer. Come on, Boomer. You can do it. You can do it. 99.38. 98. If anyone bought those 6,500 lottos, I would think they'd be getting out now, but you never know. What do I know? I have paper hands. I always get out. Okay. This is thrilling. This is exciting. Come on, Boomer. We're rooting for you. Where are you? You have all of Twitter and YouTube rooting for you. You have the collective power of the collective will pulling it up. This guy is harpooned. This guy, I don't know, poor schmuck. What happened to him? Okay, well, notice there was 20 something thousand, so a lot of it got eaten through. Maybe that was what was there in the morning. I'm not sure before all the. Now, not to toot my own horn, but as a lesson, so to speak, I did my ICs this morning and I put it out wherever, and I sold 90s and 95s on top. Then I had the few 90s I had, I closed them for a profit, a little tiny profit, rolled them up to 95s. And then by 11 o'clock, I didn't like the way price action was. I closed whatever I had on the call side for, I think I got a tiny win out of it. You know, I had maybe over 10 contracts and maybe I made $75 or $130. Of course, the puts were fine, made nice, had a nice day. And I'm saying that to say this: if you and I, old Japanese proverb can't be too old. If you get on the wrong train, if you think you're on the wrong train, get off at the next stop. And right now we're at 6,500. OMG and a half. You go, Boomer. Is this going to be a new all-time high? Let's take a look. Well, intraday, the all-time high was 08. Remember we cut above the 65.05 short call strikes and then pulled back in? And the close was 01 and change, back below 99. Pencils down. Survey says, wait, do we have a new closing high? 6502.12 looks like. I don't know if that's official. Looks official-ish. Let's call it 6502 for government work. New closing high. Everybody got skewed. Well, not everybody. And now, of course, since we know that a lot of that was hedging, we kind of see this right away. This little pullback. Wall Street index higher as data keeps rate cut view intact. Okay. Price makes headline. If we were down, there would be another headline. If we were down, we'd be the headline would be Xi and Putin summit, whatever it is. Doesn't really matter. We have a price and we fit the headline to the price, of course. $65.0209. Okay, there we go. Oh, NVIDIA news. Right, NVIDIA news. Why not? Oh, and Apple AI initiative. That's a good one too. Google breakup, Google unbreakup. What's a little insider trading among friends to keep the market honest? Okay, so let's see if. Now, I don't know if the whale came in or not for tomorrow. I don't see whale as volume, and I don't remember what was here before, but let's see. Can we see something up here? Well, this has been here all along, so nothing to see here, folks. Move along. We expect him to show up here, and he's not there. Suddenly selling puts at selling 64.50 looks like a genius move for tomorrow. But we still have NFP. I don't see any trades coming in, but it's only 402, so this won't update before that. All right, well, let me acknowledge that I was wrong. Who was it? Options death. All right, let me find. Let me look at depth view a little more closely here. Oh, now the asymmetry isn't there anymore. Okay. Do we have anything coming in yet? Nope. Oh, it's still early, so it takes a little while to update, but there's somebody. We should see it in the raw OI if it happens. Still the same 8,000 in the raw volume, I mean. Still the same 8,000. Whoa, is that, can I get 500 bucks for that? No. I would take it if I could. I'll put it in for 500 bucks, see if they'll give it to me. I'll be a sport and put it in at 345. Go to cancel and see what happens. I mean, that's not going to happen now, but you never know. In the ups and downs of the day, what does tomorrow look like for Sapphire and Condor? Nothing looks great with NFP. I'll tell you what I did. I sold 55 on top and 30 on the bottom. I got about $1 for it, a little less. Now you can get even less for the puts. Safer would be, say, 60 on top. But then you run the risk of, you have, I would say, 55 on top, scary, and 40 on the bottom, $1. 45 on the bottom, maybe something like this. But it's non-farm payroll tomorrow, so it's anything can happen. That's pretty much a no front run day for me, even though I did front run one. And what I front ran, where is it filled? I'll put in 35% by the close, 35 cents by the close for now. Go to cancel, and we'll see what happens. That's all, folks. Oh, still gonna wait another minute or two to see if something comes in, but I don't think it will. The final update. Oh, wait, he is here. Hold on. 35, 40, 55. Okay. Late breaking news. I knew he was going to show up. There he is. There he is. 35.40. He's over here. And 55.50. So here's where the whale is. I'm going to put this in just as a placeholder. We know it's 180, but I'm going to put it in at 480, which won't fill. That also gives me more confidence for, say, 35, 30, or even, what the hell, why do that? 65 from 30, 20, and on top, 70, 80. Let's do that. Okay, filled. Opposite, $1.15. Put in 45 cents. Go to cancel. And the whale shows up ahead of NFP. He doesn't care. Let's go place him where he belongs. He's at 55.50 on the put side. I got this piece to move along. That's funny. And he's at, what is he at on the call side? He's at 35. I think he's getting trouble. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to put it upside down. I think that's interesting. Maybe he's not in trouble. Maybe it's all been front run. I don't know. And let me get rid of this. My buddy Mentor Q has intraday updates. I don't know if they're going to have that data yet. Well, let's see. Okay. And that's it. Show's over, folks. Time to feed the goats. Although it's raining here. Oh, it stopped raining. Good. The goats have been out all. Okay, so I hope you heard safe-ish. Hope you heard above and below the whale. And here's where the whale is. 35 on top, which is kind of crazy. And 55 on bottom. Record close. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody. See ya. That was fun.